has had the greatest influence on your life? For many of us, a special person probably comes to mind. Throughout my entire life, I have had many people come and go. Some loved, some hated, and some none of the above. But no one has had a more profound impact on my life than Mr. Stephen K. Turner, aka the greatest dad ever. I'm sure that we all have had people in our lives that have brought out the best in us as well as the worst in us. Today, I would like to talk about the significant role that my dad has had in my life by always going above and beyond. When I was younger, my dad was and still is the epitome of what it means to be the greatest dad ever. He is among one of the most selfless as well as one of the most deserving human beings that I know. Now I want to give you some examples as to why my dad is so special to me. My dad is a true stand-up guy that has been by my side since the day that I was born. I don't recall a time when my dad wasn't there. Not only did he take on the role of being a father figure to my oldest brother Marquise, who isn't biologically his, but he later made sacrifices and took on the role of being a single father to both me and my older brother Parrish at the ages 9 and 11. One summer when my brother and I were visiting my dad, I decided that instead of visiting my dad for just the summer, that I wanted to stay with him forever. So I asked him if that was okay, and without hesitation, he said yes. From then on, he raised me and my brother as a single dad without any help. To this day, I still don't understand how he did it by himself. I mean, between putting up with hundreds of shopping trips, the teenage attitude, and dozens of pranks from my brother and I, one of the best ones being when we switched his doorknob inside out and locked him in his room while he was getting ready for work one morning. Of course, I'm getting my payback now with my own kids, and I know he's enjoying seeing that. But like I mentioned earlier, my dad is one of the most selfless people that I know besides my husband. No matter what, my dad always made sure that my brother and I had not only everything we needed, but also everything that we wanted. He always made sure of this, even if it meant that he had to sacrifice and put his own needs and wants to the side. My brother and I may not have had the latest apparel or the top name brands, but we always had everything we needed and more. My dad always told us, you can either have a couple of expensive outfits or you can have several cheap outfits that you can mix and match and will last you a couple weeks. This always made so much sense to me, and I have not cared about a name brand since. Throughout our entire life, all the way up until both me and my brother were adults, my dad wore the same clothes over and over. Not only did he wear the same clothes, but he wore the most inexpensive clothing that he could find. Most of the time he wore sweatpants and a t-shirt, or a t-shirt and shorts depending on the season. He didn't do this because he didn't have the money. He did this so that he could spend the extra money on me and my brother. I know this because as soon as we both graduated high school and had jobs, he started buying himself better quality clothes. He took care of us before taking care of himself. My dad is the reason for all of the good qualities that I possess. I'm not so sure about the bad ones, but definitely the good. Nevertheless, I hope that I can be an awesome parent to my kids that my dad was and still is to me. He truly is the greatest dad ever.